what matters most for your business right now. Focus on the important things, but what matters most to your clients is going to be very important to continue to navigate 2020. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 133 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
All right, we had a promise last week. We promised you we would cover the Brad Inman keynote. It was a 6-minute keynote. Never saw a shorter keynote in my life, Brad, but very well done for Inman Connect, which was last week.
I wonder if he was in his Zoom room. Maybe
Well, no, they didn't use Zoom. They used this company I never heard of, Big Marker.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very, when I did
because we talked about Zoom rooms, I think, last time. He had like this pink background.
I think that was at his house. It was very nice. But when I did the Northeast panel for Inman Connect, I got to see a little bit of that Big Marker. It was very interactive, nice setup for like an event like that. Probably better than using Zoom. Never heard of it until Inman introduced it, but they're always ahead of the curve.
Always.
You know?
Okay.
All right, so we watched together.
We did it together. I was here early enough to watch it with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I watched it separately. So I've watched it twice now.
Wow. You feel better about it a second time?
Yeah. I feel great about Brad's 6-minute introduction to Inman Connect. And we're going to just give you our high-level bullet points. He had that nice little story in the beginning about Carrie. He owns that bakery in California. He
was very specific. I mean, he told us what road he went on to get his soda bread.
Irish soda bread. What is soda bread? Is that like, what is that?
It's bread
what is it?
That's got soda in it. I don't know.
True?
Yeah, no, I think it's an Irish thing.
Is it like
thing.
angel food? Is that what it is?
No, it's harder. It's much more dense.
Okay.
It's a little bit more dense. It's more like
bread.
like what's that? I want to call it a crone. What is it? It's not a crone.
A croissant?
No, hard.
Croissant's soft.
No, like a.
Oh yeah, scone.
Thank you.
It's like a scone.
Yes, kinda. But it's bread. But I think it's a little bit puffier. You may actually enjoy it with your lobster.
Larry David loves scones, so maybe that's a.
I don't know.
California thing. He's in California. Anyway
is right.
My biggest takeaway was right in the beginning after the story about the bakery, and he's talking to this baker that she says, listen, was is over. Everything we remember from before is now done.
Right.
New world, accept it, move on. Spoken like a true entrepreneur who has decided to make a pivot in her business. Brad said he doesn't know if was is over, but what he does know, I love this quote we were talking about before. Life gets better when we let go of ideas of what we expect things to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's...
You had another quote that was similar to that. Expectations, he also said, can be a problem zone for human beings. I always talk about that too. Like even in relationships, life, your team, whoever, people you're working, whatever. If you're not over communicating what the expectations are, if you're not letting it be very clear what your expectations are, then somebody else is going to have a different expectation of what they expect out of you. And when people are guessing or making up expectations in their own head, I agree with Brad.
Right.
That's a huge problem zone.
Well, again, it's all about, I think right now it's managing disappointment and managing what you can manage.
Bringing that back to the client.
Right, exactly.
Right? You don't want them having expectations that are different from the reality in the market or different from how the transaction's going to be. I tell Nest to go on mute and now my computer's making noises at me.
Yeah.
Reality is a lot more interesting than fantasy. Huh? How about that one?
How about it?
How about that for a mic drop?
Right now, I feel like anything can happen, right?
You feel like reality is a fantasy?
No, it's more interesting. It's saying it's more interesting than fantasy.
I agree.
Yeah,
well,
right
I just
now.
think there's a lot of people that are unfortunately stuck in the mud because of what we've gone through since March, meaning they're just thinking about how they want their life to be. They're fantasizing about what they will do one day instead of taking action in reality.
Well, I think the biggest problem right now, though, is people are also mourning the loss of what was, too. Where
it's over.
I feel like enough time has gone by where, you can't look back and wonder what was or what could have been or what August supposed to look like.
What would you be mourning? Like, say you lost your job. Say you're somebody who lost your job.
No, but you're just you're mourning life. Like my children's lives. Like even last night, like
your children are alive.
Right, but they're sad. Like they're sad about the fact that they can't do the things that they're used to doing. They can't see the people that they're used to seeing. That they don't get to go back to school like they were.
Think about the perspective of what other kids across the world go through every single day.
I 100% agree with you, but you also, as an agent, though, you have to be empathetic. You have to understand what it is that everyone's going through. But I do think that with that being said, there does come a time and a moment where you do have to freaking pull up your skirt and move on.
I mean, people that have lost their job during this, it's unfortunate, but the minute you lose your job is you have a job immediately the next minute. It's to get a new job.
Right.
Your job is to get a new job immediately, and you can hit the pavement. Even in this health crisis, you can look at the job reports. People are getting hired every single day in this country, so there's not a lot of excuses. I think mourning to me is a word when you lose a loved one. I don't really see mourning in this situation personally.
Yeah.
Respect where you're coming from, of course. And when we think about our clients, right? When we bring it all the way back to real estate here, and I think about our clients, you could have gotten a deal in February. Like I was talking to Heidi, who works with us on the team. She closed on her home, I think, in March or February.
She killed it. She could sell it probably.
Well, her neighbor's listing for like $7,500K more than what she bought, and they've got like one less bathroom. Like perfect timing, but you can't go back in time. You could have gotten a deal in January, February comparison to where the market is today, but that's not reality. You're living in fantasy the minute you start thinking about how great February was for your life.
Yeah.
Confusion, right? And because the markets move so fast, Brad says confusion brings a thirst for information. So as agents, as real estate professionals, brokers, teams, and agents, we have got to fill that thirst. We've got to hydrate people with the information.
Oh, you feel good about that one. That was a good one.
I just made that one up on the fly there, Nicole.
You killed
Hydrate. Hydration for thirst. Okay. Nikki on our team sent me a TikTok message. It was a TikTok because I love sparkling water. This doctor was saying that sparkling water doesn't hydrate you the same way as flat water.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised to hear that.
It's ridiculous.
Bubbly
it puts too much pressure on the bladder, and it basically flows through your system without absorbing the water, I guess. You're supposed to drink, according to this doctor on TikTok, this is where I'm getting my
Is this where we're going?
Is
this where we're heading?
You're supposed to drink 1 sparkling water to 3 or 4 flat waters. That's supposed to be the ratio. You're supposed to do sipping throughout the day, chugging. I would just chug about 8 or 9 sparkling waters a day. So I was completely not hydrating the right way. So, which means that's why I'm always thirsty for sparkling water. Just a little fun fact for you there. Not from Brad, but that's just from my own, I don't know.
You just wanted to hear yourself talk a little bit?
Technology. He made it a point to speak directly to all of the technology entrepreneurs that were following Inman Connect. Don't let the critics discourage you.
Right.
All right. He wants to make sure that every step of the virtual experience becomes possible for the end consumer. So he wants people to fight through like Rich Barton did when they told Rich Barton that Zillow wasn't going to work, right? How many people have said Zillow's going to fail? Zillow's going to go bankrupt. Stock's at $80 now, folks. I've been saying that. You can go back into like the episode 30s and 40s if you want to see some of that stuff. Told you to buy it at like $20 something and it's now at 80. It's a little fun fact. Thank you, Nicole. I was waiting for that. All right, so he spoke directly to the tech people. But here's the big punchline. Our value has never been more obvious as real estate agents. Ethics and service, he said, are the values that are rewarded today. Do you agree?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I think now more than ever, people are looking for guidance and going to a professional to help them sort of navigate this. And again, it's not even necessarily about, because I think some people would argue that our jobs are easier now than ever because like we're just getting multiple offers. But I do think that it's harder than ever. You know, you have to sort of sift through all these buyers. You have to sift through.
This is a harder market
if
you're working with buyers.
Well, if you're working with buyers, for sure. I mean, because you're just losing everything. But even as a seller, though, I mean, who is the right buyer? What is their job? I mean, there are so many more questions that you need to ask during this process than like you ever did before. Or again, agents that are new and didn't know what questions to ask, obviously are not really able to,
if you're learning
productively
on the fly right
Yeah.
now, you might want to think about joining a team that offers training every single day, that offers a sounding board so that
people
you
to
can
help support you.
Yeah, throw these weird scenarios. I mean, there are so many weird scenarios. People are getting offers under contract and then getting other offers that come in 20,000 over the one the seller just signed. Like, how do I navigate? Like all these weird things that are happening in our markets.
Right. And you have to be really good at navigating though their emotions too. This is a wildly emotional time. Like you said before, there's so much confusion and people really don't know, what is coming next and what is coming at their family. So I feel like that's the biggest part of our jobs right now though, is to help them with that.
It's this last line I wrote down from Brad too. It's understanding what matters most. All right, what matters most for your business right now, focus on the important things, but what matters most to your clients is going to be very important to continue to navigate 2020. So good stuff, Brad. It was only 6 minutes, but I thought
it was a feel good woo in my Zoom room.
It was a powerful 6 minutes.
It was great.
6 or 7. I'll give you 7 minutes. So 6 and change. All right.
Speaking of 7.
Racket number 2. There you go, Nicole. Good segue there. A little transition from Nicole White.
Working on it.
7 client behaviors emerging from COVID. I'm dropping the 19. Just going COVID.
COVID, yeah. The Rona.
But I guess there could be a COVID 20.
There could be. There will be.
There will be.
Yeah.
Prediction from... We don't get too many predictions from Nicole White. Look at that one. There will be a COVID 20 someday. All right, 7 client behaviors.
This is Realtor Magazine.
This is Realtor Mag. We're giving them some love because we gave Brad so much in the first racket. So I'll run through them real quick. Number 1, buyers are in a rush. Number 2, wish lists are shifting.
For sure.
They've got a beautiful chart here. Let's pop that up so people can see the chart for the wish lists, and we're going to go over that in just a second. 3, buyers are less concerned about commutes. You agree with that one? Is that a racket?
No, I don't think it's actually a racket at all. I think that as long as, because a lot of people are working from home.
Yeah.
So as long as, I think people are putting a cap on, okay, if I need to go into the city or go somewhere, my cap is 2 hours to get there for that one day.
I agree. People are pushing out their commutes, which to me tells me there's going to be more sales in the future. Because people are going to get sick of those commutes in a year, 2 years, 3 years.
They're going to go sell. And then who's going to buy them?
This is a good thing for us. Number 4, multi-generational households may grow more common. So people are, including their family.
Right.
You're seeing that still? I'm not seeing it as much as I was in the past.
I don't feel like I'm seeing anything different there.
Nothing different there for you. Number 5, pets could drive purchase decisions. They always do.
They really always do.
If you're a pet lover, you're a pet lover.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're not. I don't know anybody that's not, though. Everybody loves a good pet.
Yeah,
Number
you
6,
like your pets?
A first-time buyer could wave could emerge. A first-time, we're definitely seeing that.
For
Millennials are coming out in droves. Young adults are waiting longer to get married, it says.
There was another interesting article, too, that I had sent you that sort of relates to that, though, too, because they're talking about...
Because in the 80s, 75% of first-time buyers were married. Do you agree with that? I know that's a little touchy subject before we go on number 7. 75% of first-time buyers were married in the 80s. Dave Ramsey, who's a financial guy, he says you should never, ever, ever, ever buy a house with somebody...
First-time buyers
unless you're married to that person. Do you agree with that?
I bought a house that I wasn't married to.
And you're still married, so that you kind of debunked Dave Ramsey. But I would agree with that. You shouldn't buy... If you're dating...
I think you need to live together, though, before you get married.
Of course, you need to live together, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but live together on rent, as opposed to live together buy, then you break up, now you got this house to sell, and it could,
Or maybe just the other person buys it out. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's practical advice to be married before you go and buy together personally.
Okay. Unless one person is buying it in their name.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, my wife and I weren't married, and I bought 3 houses, 19 and 21. They were all in my name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Keep them separate bank accounts. You know what I mean?
Gotta.
Also, NAR has seen a rise in roommates. Anyways, we're seeing a lot of first-time home buyers in the millennial sector. I said we were going to go quick. This isn't quick at all. Number 7, housing tenure could fall. This one's interesting to me.
It's very
interesting.
A racket? I don't think it's a racket at all. I think that especially right now with money being so cheap, I think that with people, like you said before, they're also shifting location. So something that was originally sort of their 10-year plan or their 20-year plan is changing. Or if they want more space, or they want to get someplace that has more land. I mean, everyone's ideas of housing has certainly changed.
Over recent years, homeowners have stayed put in their homes longer than they have in the past. An average of 10 years, which is longer than the traditional 6-year average. Americans are not moving longer distances like they did in the 1980s, although we're starting...
we are seeing that shift.
That shift now. As cities urge stay-at-home restrictions during the pandemic, consumers may start to question whether their home fits their current needs.
Absolutely.
So if they bought in the city 3-4 years ago, boom, they might be selling right now, trying to sell, getting out to the
Or if they're now
burbs.
having to work from home, though. Originally, a home office wasn't all that important. Their children are now home if they have kids. I mean, I think everything is shifting. I think everyone's mindset is shifting.
And these low interest rates are, very conducive to people moving around more.
For sure.
Which they're saying the low interest rates could stay for a while, so that could...
I think they'll be around for a while.
The change in homeowner tenure could be one we see coming soon. That is from somebody very important.
Very important. Melissa?
Jessica Lotz, the NAR Vice President of Demographics and Behavioral Insights, and that's where all this information came from. Let's go back to this chart real quick and just talk racket, not racket.
Okay.
Maybe we can pop it back up here again. In general, have your clients changed what home features are important in a new home due to COVID? Check all that applies. So 65% of agents said no. The search criteria is about the same.
Yep.
So 65% of your buyers, is their search criteria unchanged from what it was before? Would that be over 50% of your buyers have their search criteria been not changed at all, or would it be less than 50%? They're saying 65%
well,
unchanged.
I think what's interesting is I don't know that they've necessarily changed, but what they're saying that they
important?
Want, like a home office, that is definitely the number one thing.
So that's the next thing. 24%.
I don't know that home office was ever on the list, but
high.
Right,
no,
but going
no.
through the house, it was always like, oh, this could be my office.
It was kind of a throwaway item where it was like, sure, a nice home office. We could use that space as a home office, but it wasn't like today where it's like, I need a home office.
Right.
Yeah. So that one's up there, 24%.
Yes.
Space to accommodate family. So I've heard this, visitors, adult relatives. Mm-hmm. Pets. How often are we going to talk pets here? All right.
Well, more personal space. Definitely yards. Yards are growing.
Yards and larger homes.
Yep. Oh, yard for exercise.
I've heard exercise rooms and maybe basement where you could put a home gym.
Gyms, yeah, but not the yard. But definitely
not
they
up
want
here
yard.
Because winter is coming.
Yeah.
Even though I made an Instagram post that winter might be canceled, but that was more talking about, I think the market's going to be strong through the winter. I think it's still coming and it's going to be very cold, and you wouldn't want to be.
I'm certain it's going to be cold.
You wouldn't want to be doing your workouts outside, would you?
Well, no.
In like January?
No. I don't really like to do workouts at all.
That'd be terrible in the Northeast.
I don't think I'm looking at a house for that. Acreage.
This one, I actually think this should be higher, 8%.
Which one?
Broadband internet access. That's a racket. It's much higher than 8% for us because we have so many New Yorkers that are like, what's the internet speed? Who are the carriers? I've had that question so many times.
Really? People are asking you speed?
In the higher price range, like the couple I was working with from New York recently.
Huh.
Internet speed is very important because think about it, they're going to do two home offices. No, it makes complete
sense, but I didn't realize that people were picking homes based on speed.
Yeah, because
Jeepers, do I need to know my gigabyte?
Ness doesn't know yet, but she's going to be doing a blog on internet speed here locally because we need to get that information. To Brad's point,
I feel like I need to read about it.
We need to arm our consumers with the information. We need to have that blog on internet speed because a lot of people are asking that question. I think this is a racket. I think it's way more than 8% of people. If 24% of people are concerned with home office, the next thing is, I'm hooking up internet. It needs to be fast. It needs to be fluid.
Interesting. And they're not going to pick a house if it doesn't...
I mean, if I was working from home 100% of the time, it didn't have high internet speed, I would not pick that house. But
isn't there a way for you to like we have boosters in our house?
No, there are some towns in Connecticut where you have one carrier option, and they don't offer high speed. Like this office that we're sitting in, we're lucky.
So it wouldn't necessarily be the house. It would be more the town. It would be a location.
It would be the location.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the necessary house, but house within that location. Correct.
Yes. Okay.
This office that we're located in right here, we have the ability to pay through the nose and go fiber optics if we wanted to, which is the highest, most uninterrupted internet speed you can get.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah, you doing it?
Fiber optics. What does it mean, Sam? Fiber optics.
Uh-oh.
Sam says it means high speed. All right, acreage, 8%. I'm hearing acreage more than 8%, but we're very rural, so acreage is up on the upswing. Pool. Is this a racket, 8%?
Pool's huge right now. People around our area are actually wanting just to rent pools. They don't even want the homes. No. They want to just rent someone's pool.
But that trend's going to die in about 4 weeks when September comes.
Of course. It'll all be over soon.
Nobody's going to want a pool in September anymore.
Yep.
Safe place for packages, Dorman, 3%.
Interesting.
That's just weird.
Anyway, that was a fun one to go through.
That's a good one. That was a very good one. We'll link that up, Realtor Mag. You can check that out on your own. And then Marketeer of the week was picked by Nicole.
Well, I just thought it was super fun. I don't follow Ryan very often, but I enjoyed his little video. I thought it was cute. I enjoy sort of highlight reels like this.
So those of you that don't know, Instagram has decided to slap TikTok in the face and come out with IG Reels, Instagram Reels. And basically, it's just a ripoff of TikTok. Much like they destroyed Snapchat, right, with Instagram stories, they are now trying to destroy TikTok. I got no problem with that. Rip off and duplicate. TF says that all the time. Tom Ferry, right? And that's what they did here. And so Ryan Serhant is already posting Instagram Reels. We're going to play you the one Nicole loves so much. It's what drew you to this?
Well, I like speed. I like flashy. I like to see what room he's in next. I don't need to see every wall. And I thought it was fun. I thought you got to follow him, which distracted you enough to keep watching, but you kind of wanted to see where he was. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I love those types of things.
It's less than 30 seconds. I mean, it's it's a fun little piece of content.
But you get a taste of the house. You get to see some rooms. He's running through. I mean, it's a little silly, but I loved it.
I think as an agent, for your social engagement, integrating Reels can be a way to attract new followers, bring more people onto your page. You still got to give them real information if you want to, and I think Ryan does a great job of that. So I'm not saying that this is all he does. I think it's a very nice little fun thing to do and to try. We're going to play it here in a second. He's running through an $18 million mansion. And where was that? Anyways, Nicole, do you know? No? All right. Anyways, let us know in the comments if you're trying out Instagram Reels. I haven't done one yet. I've got to do that.
Yeah,
we should do one.
I got to figure it out.
We'll have you run through High Street like this.
Ooh. Rip off and repeat, right?
When you're doing the other video, we'll have you do the.
We'll run through.
You'll run through. Oh
boy.
All right. Each room on the model unit or something like that. All right, Ryan Serhant. Let's play the video now.